Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Trim the Wick Leadership Academy. My name is Dan James, and I am so glad to be with you this week. Believe it or not, we are actually in week 3 of our 4 week long session here, and we're at the midway point. So, applaud to you. You've made it this far, and now it's time to continue to learn about why we need to be leaders and why it's important to be leaders and how to be a leader and all those things we're going to keep on learning about and keep on discussing. This is our series. It is Leadership 101, week 3. And again, I am super excited that you're here and very glad that you are with us this week. So, unlocking the leader inside of you, we are using this book right here, the John Maxwell Leadership 101. It's a nice little quick read book, but there's so much in here. And that is what we're using as our guide during this 4 week study. So, if you haven't gotten a book yet, I encourage you, go get you that John Maxwell Leadership 101 book. It's fantastic. All right, so again, just as a bookkeeping thing, and for us is that these are 4 weeks that we're covering the whys of leadership. Week 1, we talked about why leadership and why do we need leaders and how can you be a leader. Week 2, last week, we talked about why do we need to be disciplined and have priorities, because it is so important for us to, as leaders, to be disciplined in what we do and be able to set priorities, not only for ourselves, but for our team and our organization. This week is week 3, and we're going to be talking about vision and why vision is so important. Before we get into that, let's look at last week and just do a refresh of what we learned last week and ask some of these questions that just to get your brain going here. Number 1, are you organizing, prioritizing what you do on a day-to-day basis? Remember, this is about getting your priorities straight. Number 2, what can you delegate? Hopefully those were things that you looked at last week and you were able to delegate some things. Are you training up someone who can carry the load? We talked about things that we do and that there are always things that we can hand off to somebody else, and it's just busy work. It's just holding us back. Number 3, if you had the opportunity to go back to day 1 from starting your job, what changes would you make or would you have made? And why not start now? Go ahead and start making those changes now. Move forward and put some of those things in place today. Don't wait, because it's just going to keep snowballing, keep snowballing. And number 4, often it's the little things that trip us up. What things can we put in place to keep you from getting lost in the weeds? So I hope last week you went through those questions and you are ready to go this week as we talk about casting vision. Now, why is vision so important? Well, a couple quotes here for you. Walt Disney: leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. See, it's a main thing of being a leader is to be able to have vision, because you're not going to be able to create anything unless you have the vision in front of you. And we see that here in the Proverbs 29:18. Without vision, the people perish. And we know that without vision, people don't know what to do, where to go, or how to even get there. And guess what? We don't either. So without vision, the people perish. And John Maxwell said, you can seize only what you can see. So you've got to have vision. You've got to be able to have something out there that you can seize, that you can go, that you can gather people around, and that you can make towards reality. So, is vision important? Yes, vision is so important. So, let's talk about this. Casting vision starts with trust. Here's the thing: you can't just all of a sudden walk into a room or walk into a meeting and just start telling people, this is the future, this is what we're going to do. If they don't trust you, you're just speaking into the world, you're just saying things out there. You need to have trust with the people so that they take what you say, they put it to heart, and they're willing to go make the changes. Now, there's a great principle here that John teaches in the book, and it's that the principle of pocket change. And here's the thing that he says is that, every leader has a certain amount of change in his pocket when he or she starts a new leadership position. And that's true. Just being a leader or being the manager or being the one in charge gives you a certain amount of pocket change. Okay. That's what you start off with. That's the everybody knows I'm a leader. Everybody knows I've been put in this position to be in the front. So that gives me a certain amount of pocket change. Well, from then on, he or she either builds the change up or they pay it out. And that's the thing, as you act as a leader, you're going to divvy out that change or you're going to collect more. And when you're out of change, the people lose trust completely. So, how do we keep building that change? How do we keep building trust? Because casting vision starts with trust. John says that trust is the foundation of leadership, that you can't lead people unless they trust you. They're not going to follow you anywhere. They're only going to go with you so far if you only have so much change. But once all that change is gone, they're not going to follow you anymore. So here's 3 qualities of a leader that a leader must exemplify to build trust. Okay? There are 3 qualities that a leader must exemplify to build trust. Number 1, it's competency. You've got to know what you're talking about as a leader. Now, I used to always make sure that when I was working in a restaurant situation that I knew every station of the restaurant, from working out front with the guests to working the cash register to making drinks to taking the trash out to cooking the food. I would make sure that I was competent in all of those areas. Okay, I didn't know them perfect. I wasn't the best. Trust me, I wasn't the best in all those areas. But I had a competency that when I would tell somebody, hey, I need you to do this, or this is how you do this, or I need you to start doing it this way, there was a competency there that I already had because they knew that I knew what I was talking about. Okay. So, number 1 thing, competency. Number 2, connection. We've got to have a connection with the people we're working with. You cannot just walk into a room of a bunch of strangers and start ordering them around. They're not gonna follow you. You have no trust built with them. But if you have a connection with them, you've spent time with them, you've talked to them, you've stood next to them during the worst times of the business and things like that. You build a connection and that builds trust. The third thing is character. And character is so important because I'm going to say this, character trumps your talent every day. You can be the greatest speaker, the greatest orator. You can stand on the hill and just talk all kinds of things or explain all kinds of things. But if you don't have the character to back it up, people are not going to follow you. Okay? Character makes trust possible. Okay? My character and who I am in the dark times, who I am when no one's watching, who I am when I am on my own. Okay? How I operate, where I don't cut corners and I don't cheat and I don't lie and I don't take advantage of. Okay? That makes trust possible. And trust makes leadership possible. Okay? You with me? So, how does your character communicate? Because your character is so important. So, here are some ways that your character communicates. Number 1, character communicates consistency. If your people don't know what to expect from you as a leader, at some point, they're not going to look to you for leadership because you need to be consistent in what you're telling them. If you're asking your people to do something, you need to be consistent. You can't have certain rules for this group and certain rules for that group. You can't have some people, that they get away with something and other people don't. You can't have, do you understand? If you start tearing down your consistency, your people don't know what to expect from you, and they're not going to look to you for leadership. The second thing is character communicates potential. So when a leader's character is strong, people trust him and they trust his ability to release their potential. See, one of the things as a leader is that we're always lifting people up, we're always moving people forward. And for me to trust my leader, I have to not only trust that my leader's going to be consistent and he's not going to take advantage of me, but also he is going to be able to release the potential that I have in me. He's going to see things in me that I don't see in myself. He's going to be able to build me up and to push me forward and to send me forward. And that is such a great thing. So your character communicates potential. The third thing, character communicates respect. No leader can break trust with their people and expect to keep the same level of influence with them. I agree with that wholeheartedly. A leader's respect for his people is also a reflective of his character. If your character is weak, people are going to realize that you don't respect them. Listen to this. Leaders earn respect by making sound decisions, admitting their mistakes, and putting what's best for their followers and the organization ahead of personal agenda. I'm going to read that to you again. Leaders earn respect by making sound decisions, admitting their mistakes, and putting what's best in front of their followers and the organization ahead of their own personal agenda. Listen, if you don't make good decisions time after time after time, people are not going to look for you as a leader because they know you're going to lead them astray. If you don't admit when you make a mistake, your people are going to look at you and go, you're not a very good leader because whenever you make a mistake, you just lie about it or you cover it over or you push it off on somebody else. But when your people see that you're putting them and the organization in front of your own personal agenda, that will build respect in your people. All right, let's talk about vision. See, vision is everything for a leader. It is utterly indispensable. Okay? How can we cast vision? We need to look before we lead. Okay? And we're going to talk about this. We're going to go into this in depth here about why vision is so important. And it is so important for a leader because, see, a vision is what guides you when you're lost. A vision is what gives you that motivation to keep going. And a vision is the thing that you're going after. And it's not a goal. Goals are set, and then you hit that goal and you go to the next one. You hit that goal, you go to the next one. A vision is something that pushes you beyond your goals. Okay? So let's talk about this. Number one, a vision starts within. Listen, you can't buy, beg, or borrow vision. This is something that has to come from inside you. Okay? Now, you can see things around you and you can take inspiration from things, but it's going to come from you because this is something that's deep inside you. If you still don't sense vision on your own, then consider connecting with a leader whose vision will resonate with yours. Now, this is an important thing of finding a mentor and finding a coach that will help you. If you're looking for vision and you're trying to get vision and guidance and it's not coming, I'm going to encourage you to connect with somebody, another leader, someone else who's doing it, someone who is already there or already achieving some of the things that you're looking at doing, and draw from them, glean from them, learn from them. This is one of the things of one of the projects that I'm doing in Kenya. And there are some things that are just outside of my capability. I just don't know. So I'm teaming up with somebody who does know, who does what I'm trying to do. It's helping me cast visions, helping me expand my vision really beyond what I just thought it was going to be. Number two, vision draws on your history. Now, this is important. Now, if you talk to any leader, you will likely discover key events in their past that were instrumental in the creation of their vision. And this is so important that your vision is from you. So it's going to have parts of you in it. It's going to have things that you have desired and wanted and things that you are a part of. So your history and who you are going to play very much into your vision that you are creating. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Vision meets others' needs. If you have a vision that is small and doesn't serve others, it's probably too small. See, here's the thing. When you're talking a vision as a leader, it's always going to lift others up. It's always going to benefit and support others. Okay? So if your vision doesn't include others, if your vision doesn't need the help of others, if your vision doesn't lift up others, then your vision is probably too small. So you need to make sure that when you're casting your vision, when you're looking at your vision, that it's something that meets the needs of others. And the last one here kind of goes with that first one, or it goes with that previous one. Vision helps you gather resources. The greater the vision, the more winners it has to be. I'm sorry. The greater the vision, the more winners it has to the potential to attract. Here's the thing is that as that vision grows, as that meets other needs and it looks to meet other needs, you're going to be gathering resources. There's going to be other people that are going to come alongside, people who are winners who want to be a part of that vision. It's always interesting to me that in some sports, you see these teams that are just not good for years and years and years and years. Then all of a sudden, they get a new coach. And then they get a superstar player. And then the next thing you know, there's other players that are now attracted to this team. And the team starts to grow and the team starts to gain momentum and the team starts to become a winner. As you cast your vision, as you work through your vision, it's going to gather resources, and we need to be looking for other resources and other helps. And as it keeps growing and growing and growing, it's going to draw more winners to it. So, how do we find our vision? How do we find our vision? Well, let's focus on listening first. Because this is where it all begins. Is because we're going to be seeing things around us. We're going to see stuff that we want to do, we want to change, we want to make a difference in. But first we need to listen. Okay? And we need to listen to our inner voice. Now, what does our inner voice say, right? That's the question. What does your inner voice say? When you take the time to listen to what your inner voice is telling you, it tells you what you want your life to look like, what you want the end to look like. See, here's the thing is that your vision is from you. It's going to match you. It's going to match who you are. It's that character of who you are. It's those things that you've put in place in your life is going to come out now in a physical form. Okay? Like Walt Disney was saying, right? So you need to listen to who you are. Listen to your character. Listen to the things that you desire. That's the first place to start. The second place to start is the unhappy voice. Now, what do we mean by the unhappy? Well, this is all of the discontent This is all the things out there that you're going, this ain't right. Or maybe this is what everybody thinks, but there's a different way. There's another way. See, discontent with the status quo is a great catalyst for vision. Okay. So when you're seeing things and you need a change, you see something that you want to do that's different, that's outside the status quo, that's outside the norm. Okay. This is a great catalyst for your vision. Okay. So listen to yourself, listen to what's going on in your brain, listen to who your character is and what you've been called to do. Then look around and what are the voices telling you that are keeping you down and squashing you? Go against that grain. That's a great catalyst for your vision. Number three, the successful voice. Now, this one's neat. Okay. The successful voice is understanding that no one can accomplish great things on their own. You might think you're a loner, you're not. There's a lot of people that help you and support you. We need to listen to some of them. We need to be able to glean from those that are around us, that group that's around us that's pushing us forward, and hear from them. Also, we need to look at those successful voices of people who are already doing the things that we desire to do. I shared with you some of the work that I'm doing in Kenya and some of the ideas that I have. Well, I've taken them to people that are already doing work in Kenya and people who are already doing work in different parts of the world and the difficulties that they've already dealt with. See, the understanding that I don't need to do it myself on my own. I can have people around me that can help me accomplish the things far beyond what my mind and what my original vision might be. See, nobody accomplishes great things alone. So if you want to lead others to greatness, you need to find a mentor. You need to find someone, a coach, someone that's going to help push you and lift you forward. The fourth thing to help us find our vision is listening to the higher voice. This would be, for me, be listening to the Holy Spirit, allowing God to speak into my life and to give me what's bigger than what's inside me, to look outside of myself to a larger idea of, okay, God, what do you want to do? This is looking outside yourself to go bigger and bolder than you would ever imagine and listening to that voice. So, we've worked on our character and built trust. We have people following us now. We're a leader, a true leader. We've now focused on what our vision is, and we've nailed it down, and we've talked to people, and we've listened to those around us, and we've put things together, and now we have a clear idea of what we're going to do. So how do we share this vision? Number one, define and clarify the vision. Make it simple. A clear vision is easily understandable and memorable. Okay? You can't have a vision that has 15, 16 points. Okay? It gets too convoluted, too many steps, too confusing. We need to make it simple and clear. If it's easily understandable and easy memorable, that's a clear vision. Speak to the heart. We need to connect the vision to the people's emotions, values, not just logic. So if you're sharing your vision with people, you want to connect with them, not on a logical thing of A plus B equals C, but connect with them emotionally, connect with them on their values of, don't you want to see C happen? If C is our goal, then we have to do A plus B to equal C. Paint a picture. Use vivid language and illustrations to make that vision come alive. Explain what the benefit of this is going to be. Explain how this is going to improve them, and explain how working as a part of this vision, it's going to be an amazing thing. Focus on the future. Describe the desired outcome and how it benefits the team, organization, or even the world. Let people know your vision and how beneficial your vision is to everyone involved, to what you're doing, and to the world in general. Number 2, communicate the vision. Okay? Use a strong beginning, grab people's attention, and make them want to listen. If you're sharing your vision, you want people to listen. You're going to lose people within the first 5 to 10 seconds. Yeah, okay, I understand. That's okay. Now they're thinking about something else. Stay focused. If you're communicating your vision to a group or to an individual or to anyone, stay focused. Make sure that your message is clear. Don't get bogged down in the details. Don't let them know that, it's going to take 3 days or 4 months or a year to do this thing. No, you're going to build this building. You have a vision to do this, right? Use simple language. Avoid jargon and complex terms that might confuse people. This is a thing, is that sometimes we want people to understand, but you know what? The more that we try to explain or that we get into complex terms, it just gets confusing. Tell short stories, share examples. You can see, use real life examples and stories and make the vision more relatable. And then end emotionally. Conclude with a compelling call to action that inspires people to get involved. Here's how the team joins on and where your character is so important. Lead by example. Be a living example. Your actions should reflect the vision that you're communicating. Should be easy to understand. We should be living what we're saying if people are going to follow us. Show, don't just tell. Demonstrate the values and the behaviors that are necessary to achieve this vision. Model the vision. Leaders should embody the vision that they are trying to instill in their teams. So here's the thing that's important, guys, is that leadership, we need to have vision. We need to tell our team, we need to help them so that they understand the vision, so that they follow the vision. And here's why. Vision gives those in your organization purpose and drive when they feel lost and empty. It's so important that they understand the vision, that they are living out the vision that you have. And guess what? It's important for you as well. So this week, our questions for growth are: what can you do starting today to strengthen your character? Character is so important to get people involved, to build trust. Number 2, what can you do to build trust with your teams? It is important that we are doing these things. And what is something that you can do today to start building trust? Number 3, what is your vision in your office? Where you're at, whatever work you're doing, whatever thing you're doing, what is your vision for where you are at? And what are you going to do with your vision? All these things are so important. And we need to make sure that we're answering these questions and putting them as a part of our lives to be strong leaders. Okay, guys, so that's casting vision and why is vision so important. Week 3 is in the books. Thank you guys so much for being a part of what we're doing here. And we are very glad that you are joining us. So, next week, you ready? We're going to talk about influence and the importance of influence and why, as a leader, do you need to have influence? Because influence is basically leadership. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much for being with me today. Hope this has helped you, and hopefully, you will continue to be a good leader and cast vision. All right. God bless you. Bye bye.